Excited to join the booktube world. I just can't even contain myself. It is so exciting. It's been a long time coming. So hello you guys, my name is Mariah Liggins and I am a newbie to the booktube world. I've wanted to join booktube for a very long time. I've talked about it with friends and family and I just never got out there and did it because I was so nervous about it, but I'm really excited. I'm also new to Bookstagram as well, so you can follow me on my Bookstagram page at Bookish with Mariah. Of course, I will link my book Instagram page below so that way you can go on there and show me some love and follow me, and I'm just so excited. I really hope the booktube community welcomes me. I'm really excited to be a part of it, and I've always loved to read. So just a little backstory about myself. I've had a love for reading ever since I was in elementary school. I grew up the only child, so books have always been a way for me to just kind of escape into another realm and also just make connections when it comes to my books. Like, they were a lot of my friends, really. A lot of the friends that I did have in school, they loved to read as well. So we used to do book challenges together and we would read books and race each other on who would finish first. And so I would always read a lot of books. I'm very much so an activist. I'm involved in a lot of causes, or I plan to get involved into more causes as well. And I'm going to link those causes below, and I'll do another video talking to you guys about my activism because I'm really excited to just take this year of 2020, which I'm sure has been really crazy for almost everybody, and just change it into so many positives that I can pull out of this year. So I'm really excited to join the booktube world, and I'm just so happy to be a part of this community. So just to tell you guys a little bit about like what type of reader I am, I absolutely love young adult fantasy. Oh my God. Love young adult fantasy. I'm really much so into sci-fi, and I really love a good romance. I'm just like pushing myself to read a little bit more when it comes to romance. I love novels. I read a whole lot of novels. I love contemporary. Honestly, I read a lot. I read a lot. I can read just about anything, and so I'm pretty much in that space of, hey, give me a book, I'll give it a try. The only genre I think I'm not that interested in is historical fiction. Now, I will say I do own a few historical fiction books, which I plan to do book reviews for you guys and talk to you guys about TBRs when it comes to historical fiction. But I will say those are the only ones that I don't connect as well with, but I am challenging myself a bit more to just try to get into a little bit more historical fiction. But other than that, I'll read just about anything. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about today in my newbie booktube video is my TBR for July the 1st. So I have a pretty short TBR when it comes to July because the books that I want to read, I really want to take my time and focus on them a lot. So I don't have like a huge stack of books. Normally I try to read, I'm charging myself and challenging myself. I really want to read like 5 to 6 books a month if I can. And so my TBR this month, I'm really excited about the books that I'm going to be reading. All of these books have come either highly recommended or I've read incredible reviews on Goodreads. You can find me on Goodreads as well at Mariah Liggins, which I will link below. I do book reviews on Goodreads as well, but my TBR for this month is a little bit like a mixture of contemporary. I have a fantasy book here, and I also have a a little bit of a sci-fi fantasy type book, post-apocalyptic type book, I guess that's what I would call it, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. And let's just get started. My July TBR. So the first book on my July TBR is Allegedly by Tiffany D. Jackson. Here's the book. Oh my goodness, I can't say enough about this author, Tiffany Jackson. I have absolutely fell in love with her work from the moment I read the first book by her. So the first book I read by her is actually Monday's Not Coming, Monday's Not Coming, and it was incredible. Like, when I say I absolutely adore this book, it was I can say, yeah, Monday's Not Coming was the best book I read for 2020. So I'll give you like a really brief backstory on what Monday's Not Coming is about. It's about two teenage girls. You have Claudia, who is a bit of an introvert, very quiet. She pretty much has only one friend. Her name is Monday. Monday is outgoing, an extrovert, a really outgoing individual that has joined the dance team, and she's pretty much, everybody knows her at school, and she's pretty much pushing Claudia to get out of her comfort zone and get out of her own way. Claudia struggles with a lot of things internally as far as like social anxiety, and she also struggles with like a disability that she has as well. Claudia is the type of girl that's not going to just get out there and go get it. She always depends on Monday for just about everything. And so Claudia, every year, every summer, she goes to visit her family in Atlanta, Georgia, and she leaves to go to Atlanta, Georgia for 2 months for the summer, and she comes back. And when she comes back to town, Monday is missing, and nobody knows where she is, and nobody seems to care. Like, everybody's like, oh, she's at her own house. Oh, she's at her dad's house. Oh, she's somewhere else. Like, oh, she's just late for school this year. She hasn't started. The whole school year is going by. A lot of things is happening in this particular book, and Monday has completely disappeared. Nobody's listening to Claudia, and basically it seems like Claudia is the only one that even remembers Monday exists. I was blown away by this book, and I finished it, and I absolutely loved it. So I could not wait to pick up a second book by her, and that is Allegedly. Allegedly is so far I'm on chapter 2, so I haven't gone very far into this one, but I will say this one has already got my attention. It's about a teenage girl named Mary. Mary has grown up pretty much in a broken home, and also she's been in and out of juvenile detention centers, and also she lives in a group home as we speak. Mary has been accused of killing a white 3-month-old child. And so with that being said, Mary is facing a lot of charges. This book basically goes through, I think, the case. That's the way it feels, that it's going through the case. It's going through the backstory of her life and how she ended up where she is now. She's living in a group home in a very dangerous situation. And pretty much I want to know like what's going to happen at the end. I don't know if she's going to be proven innocent. I don't know if she's going to be guilty. I don't know if there's going to be a big twist, but knowing Tiffany Jackson, it's gonna be a big twist, and I can't wait. So this whole book is broken up into like case files, and you get different perspective. Like, you get a perspective of Tiffany, but it also it shows a lot of the backstory of what happened to her before she even got admitted. And so meeting the characters in this book, it's incredible, and I'm absolutely enjoying it and looking forward to finishing this one for my July TBR. The second book that I have added to my July TBR is Unravel Me by Tahiri Mafi. This is the second book in the Shatter Me series. So I do have the first one. I finished the first one last month, and it was so good, but I'm gonna hold up the second one since that's the one that I'm about to read. This one is like a post-apocalyptic type of book. It's basically about a young girl named Juliet, and Juliet has a fatal touch. Anybody she touched basically dies, and so she does not know how she got this ability. Nobody knows how she got this power, and basically the government, called the reestablishment, wants to use her as a war weapon. And she is a good soul. She's a kind-hearted girl, and she just wants to live her life and not have to worry about being seen as a complete monster. She battles with herself constantly about, is this ability I have, is it a gift or is it a curse? She doesn't know, and so she's battling within herself, like, who am I and what do I want to be? Because the government is wanting to use her. The government has pretty much wiped out everything we know about the human race, as far as our history, culture, heritage, language. It doesn't matter. They have completely wiped out the earth, and they want to start all over, basically with a one world order. And they want to create their own world set from one rule, one language, one culture, one heritage, one everything. And they want to run everything. The reestablishment does. And Juliet has basically seen a lot of like destruction and so much death in her life, which has been caused by herself and by other people around her, and she couldn't control it. So I'm definitely looking forward to the second one. I flew through the first one, so I can't wait to get to this one. The third book that's on my TBR for July, that is Ablaze So Black by L.L. McKinney. I'm really looking forward to this one. You guys don't know this yet, but you will. I am a huge advocate, a big fan of retellings. I absolutely love Disney retellings, or any type of retelling for that matter, and I just adore them. I collect them, I read them. I'm gonna do a video on retellings that I have. I have so many retellings, and I have read so many that I can't wait to share them with you guys. But Ablaze So Black has been on my list since like about 2 months, and so I wanted to add it to my real TBR so that way I can get to it, because the second one also just came out, so I definitely want to read this first one. I don't know a whole lot about this one, but I do know it's like an Alice in Wonderland retelling, and it takes place in Atlanta. It's like an urban fantasy type of book. For what I understand, Allison basically battles monsters that's coming from Wonderland, and she pretty much, I don't know if she has magic or she has an ability or whatnot, but I know that she is battling these monsters, and the life that she lives with battling those monsters from Wonderland is spilling over now into her personal life in Atlanta. And yeah, it's like an urban fantasy, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. I love a good retelling. I've read several Alice in Wonderland's retellings, so I can't wait to read this book and then compare it to some of the other books that I've read that has been Alice in Wonderland retelling. So the next book that I have added to my July TBR is Girls Like Us by Randy Pink. This particular book is more so like a contemporary book, and what I love about it is it takes a lot of different perspectives. So each one of these girls, it's about 4 girls. Each one of these girls are from different places, so they live in different parts of the world. They are different races. They're from different cultural background, different heritage. They are completely different. And the one thing that they have in common is they are actually all pregnant, and it's unplanned. So they're teenagers that are experiencing unplanned pregnancies, and we're basically following their stories and what's going on in their lives. So a lot of what goes on in here actually covers a lot of really tough conversations. Some of the girls are being treated differently based off of their race, and since they are pregnant, you would think, pregnant female, any type of woman, when you're pregnant, you will be treated the same way regardless of where you come from or what your race is or who you are. You still need medical care, and you should be treated the same. But unfortunately, I know in my country, in America, and probably in a lot of other places, women can be definitely discriminated against for a lot of different reasons, for being a person of color or being from a different type of relationship that's maybe you're a single mother, or maybe you're a part of a relationship where you have 2 mothers, or whatever the case. Women can really be discriminated against when it comes to pregnancy, and that's very much so unfortunate, and also discriminated against when it comes to medical care. And so this book basically touches on those hard topics about teenage mothers going through their lives and what their lives look like, and based off of where they live and where they're from, what is going on surrounding their pregnancy. So I'm really excited. When I was in undergraduate, I used to be a women's studies major, and that was one of my degrees, and I've always wanted to learn more about these issues, and so this book, I guess, will definitely cover and touch on a lot of that, and I can't wait to talk to you guys about it and write another review on Goodreads and join the conversation when it comes to this book. And if I love it, I'm definitely going to do a BookTube video talking about some of my faves. All right, and my last book for my July TBR is The Stars and the Blackness Between Them. I am so excited. I've wanted to order this for quite a while, and the reason why I hadn't is because I had so many other books that I was looking to read at the time, and then I just did not order the book. But today I went to the bookstore, and I actually went and picked this one up, and I just cannot wait to get to it. I can't wait to get to it. It's by Juwanda Petrus. I hope I said that correct. I'm gonna link all the books that I'm talking about below, so that way you guys can definitely check them out on Amazon. But yes, I'm so excited about this one. So this book is actually about a young girl named Audrey. She lives in Trinidad, and she is basically gotten herself in a little bit of trouble with her family. Her family is very traditional and very religious, very spiritual, and unfortunately, they don't accept her lifestyle. So this is a LGBTQIA type of a read, and she from what I understand, Audrey has a girlfriend, and her family doesn't know anything about it. And finally, Audrey gets caught with her girlfriend. I think her grandmother catches her, or somebody in her family catches her with her girlfriend. unfortunately she's been exposed, and it sucks because poor Audrey, you know, she's not able to basically talk to her family about that by herself. They found out in a different way other than the way she was ready to tell them. And so they decided to make Audrey move to the States, and she moves to the United States, and she's staying with her father, and she meets a young girl named Mabel. And Mabel is also battling with some things within herself, but they develop a really close relationship. And from what I understand, Mabel also has some type of an illness that hasn't been addressed, and this isn't spoiler, by the way, because this is all you can find on the back of the book. Yeah, but she has some type of illness that hasn't been addressed, and so Mabel and Audrey basically form this bond together, and it is very much so sweet, very magical. Audrey is basically Mabel is basically helping Audrey navigate the world in the United States, but then it turns into a thing to where Mabel is the person that is dependent on Audrey as well for other things. So I can't wait to get to this one. I'm just really excited about it, and I can't wait to see what happens at the end. And I just know it's been hyped up a lot on BookTube and also on Bookstagram, so I can't wait to see where this one goes. All right, you guys, so that wraps up my newbie video, just introducing myself, talking to you guys about who I am and me joining BookTube. I hope you guys will subscribe to my BookTube page. I can't wait to do book reviews for you guys, TBR videos, reading vlogs for you guys, shopping videos with you guys. I'm so excited, and I'm really looking forward to joining this community. If you have read any of the books that I talked about today, please comment below your thoughts on these particular books, and I really hope you follow me on Instagram as well at Bookish with Mariah. I'll link that below. But thank you so much for joining me for my very first BookTube video. I hope my description of these books were good. I hope you all like my channel because I really want to build a community here. I'm just so excited. So thank you guys, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye.